Hi, y'all. I'm Takara, and this is my husband.
Kylan was good, y'all.
And we are here for another episode of our podcast, Mutual Intentional Love.
Yeah.
So, babe, how important is it to dream?
Wow.
Should we give a
Yo,
backstory?
I will absolutely give a backstory.
Okay.
So, wonderful people. This episode, this concept of dreaming together was brought to you by none other than my wife.
Yeah.
And with this idea, she decided, you know what? This is going to be the episode idea, and I was ready for it. I was so ready for it because, you know, time is ticking, the clock's running. We need to get these episodes together. So I'm ready to record. We've been coming up with some new ideas, and I thought this was a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
So it's been a process to get here, sitting in front of this camera.
Now you
for
gotta tell
you
me
all.
about that.
I gotta tell them about that. I gotta tell them about the process because we've been at this for what has it been? What's it been? It's been almost an hour.
Okay.
Almost an hour. We've been through hair flips to every direction, outfit changes,
Babe, are you sleepy?
outfit changes.
Because we can't, you can't, how you just gonna put the business out there again? Watch
What you
season
mean?
1. Watch season 1.
As again, that's what we're here for, to talk to the people.
So, anyways, because we have to keep on topic. Yeah, the topic was dreaming. And, it's like one challenge, because we like to be real and transparent about having a podcast, is stretching out a topic. Because really, truly, the whole idea is how beautiful it is to have a partner who you love so much, even though they tell your business to the world. And it's just amazing to be able to dream with them. It's amazing to just talk about how we want to see our future and what we're going to do in our present to get there. And it's a thin line between hopes and wishes and making it a reality. And I guess how do you make it a reality versus it just being hopes and wishes? And how important is it to dream? Because otherwise we just get comfortable, wouldn't you say?
For sure. And I'd say another thing that's equally as important, if not more so, is making sure that whomever you have attached yourself to, that the both of you are aligned with what you want.
Definitely.
Because if you're dreaming different dreams that are so vastly different, they don't complement one another in any sort of way, they don't even have any sort of cohesion, it's an issue.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing wrong with both of you having something going on in your lives that may differ from the other, That's interesting. That's exciting. That's something that can broaden the other's horizons. But there's a line where it can become just too vastly different, where things shift in a way that isn't necessarily furthering a mutual goal.
Yeah. Though that's true. I guess the issue with saying that, though, is well, what do they do?
Well,
if that's the case.
Well, yes, it's like I said, you have to know that from the beginning, before you reach the point where you have begun this life together. That's another thing.
And the relationship as a whole.
The relationship as a whole, because when you have these conversations, these need to be had at the beginning.
Yeah.
So that the expectation of what you want out of your life is known, and the expectation of what they want out of their life is known. Because when you don't, you end up having this relationship and you're together for however many years, and then you wake up and realize you don't even know how you got where you are. and the person you're laying next to, you truly don't know. And when you find out something that you weren't aware of to begin with, either because it wasn't communicated to you, you weren't paying attention enough to know, because all these things are important. You have to be aware of who your partner is. You have to have a desire to know them, to learn them, to understand what it is they want out of life. And I think that our communication is, again, which is a big thing with us, has been instrumental in knowing what we wanted from the beginning. We've never had to have such friction in not knowing what the other expects out of life, what we desire. We're pretty much on the same page for what it is that we envision for our lives,
Right.
which is so beautiful when you take the time to think about it, because it's not often that you will find somebody that you're completely on the same page. You might be somewhere within the same chapter, within the same book, even, but to
Mm-hmm.
be wholly on the same page is a beautiful thing and
Absolutely.
brings you a lot of peace, for
Yeah.
sure.
I I was thinking absolutely with the first time you said it, and I shook my head yes, and it made me think about our audio listeners. Like, whoops, they can't see me shaking my head yes, but I am in full agreement.
That's
And
hilarious.
as always, I lose my train of thought.
Mm.
But it was a couple of things because I asked the importance of dreaming, but I almost want to get back to the start of this of how you wanted to give a backstory
Mm-hmm.
because you know you
Yeah.
said get it started, so I got it started, babe.
Right.
And and
That's
and the point of
right.
this was because, like I said, like how to expand it into like that was beautiful, true, and
Mm-hmm.
amazing what we just said, and it was
Mm-hmm.
7 minutes. Episode over, y'all.
This woman stays watching the clock during our episodes.
It happens. And
It doesn't happen.
it does. And I have also heard like people actually really enjoy a 10-minute podcast, because they're
Yeah.
busy. They
Yeah.
don't have time
I
to.
feel like more so the issue is attention span and the instant gratification that comes with social media nowadays,
Yeah.
and what we're as content creators, which we now are, which I never thought the day would come that I would be saying that I'm a content creator. We have joined the
Yeah.
content creation group now, and with that comes all of these expectations of figuring out how to understand how the algorithm works, because everything is like we're immediately flooded. You open any sort of social media app and you're immediately flooded with thousands upon thousands of options,
Yeah.
and you have to be able to catch somebody's attention within the first second, less than the first second. So everything has to be short and quick and quippy. And that's never really been my style, honestly. I'm much more thoughtful, thought provoking. I like something with a little more substance, some depth to it. I like to have an actual conversation. I
Yeah.
like to expound upon my thoughts. I don't want to have some watered down version of what could be something truly meaningful, something that could end up being an hour long conversation. Well, people only want the cliff notes or the spark notes. So let me know how to change my life in 30 seconds or less.
Yeah. I want my
Like,
money
that's
and I want it
insane.
now.
That's insane. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way to water down true substance and value and knowledge that can really enrich your life in some way. It's like the people that really want to go out and with the get rich quick schemes. Like,
Yeah.
I want millions of dollars in one day's worth of work. That's not how it works. Anything in life that's worth having is worth waiting for, is worth experiencing fully. If you put the work in, you put the time in, you're consistent, you're dedicated, you will eventually see fruit. but you can't plant a seed and expect a tree tomorrow. That's just not how it works. So
That
I
was
do
good.
prefer the longer episodes with podcasts. Even with, if I'm not the one speaking, I enjoy watching the longer podcasts because I always hate when that happens. Like you're watching something or listening to it, and then that's just it. The episode's over,
Yeah.
and you've
Tune
only
back in
been
next
sitting
week.
there for 7 minutes, and you were expecting to really enjoy an experience, and now it's been cut short.
Yeah. I've heard both.
Yeah, man.
I've heard exactly that, and I've also heard like, yeah, this is so nice. You know, I can watch this and right on my break, or right before I do whatever it was you had planned. It's only 10 minutes out your day.
For sure.
But we really appreciate that you guys are here watching us
Yeah,
for
man.
more than 10 minutes.
We really do because we like to put forth an experience for you all. Something that you can enjoy at your leisure, not something that you have to like stuff down with a 2 to 3 minute break. If you only have a couple of minutes out your day, you could start it, stop it, pause it, think about what you've heard already, have a conversation, and then pick it back up when you're ready.
Yeah.
Or if you have 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes to dedicate to an episode, you can enjoy it fully, which
True.
I would recommend the latter. Being able to experience it fully as it was intended all the way through. But I do understand if that's not more of an option for you. So just enjoy it however you can, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And however you do enjoy it, we would love to hear how it is you experienced mutual intentional love as a podcast.
Definitely.
And also another thing that's interesting, like do you watch this on your phone? You watch it on a tablet, or are you watching it on your TV? Are you listening to it? Is this audio only? Is it in your car? Is it while you're on a jog? Like what's happening right now? You could be cooking breakfast for all I know, and this is just playing out on the stereo in your home.
That is so fascinating.
Like
people are
how do
listening
you
to us.
experience the Mutual Intentional Love podcast?
Yeah.
I am fascinated, and I would love to hear it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I think I need some type of like medicine for my brain.
Oh,
well,
boy.
it doesn't help that it's midnight. Because once again, we have these babies and we have to wait till they're asleep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's usually what it is. It's just been a long day and I'm sleepy, but I love to be here. And, thank you guys. Thank you for your patience. But I was definitely thinking something as always. And it just, boom. You know what else I realized? It might be a symptom of my age, because I keep that's another thing. Speaking of algorithms, it knows my birthday, so it keeps giving me all the things to tell me, hey, this is probably happening to you because you're old now.
That's hilarious. It's also
facts.
Your fault because you watch one, then you watch another, and then it's just endless. It never stops. It never stops. It's crazy. It's
Neither
truly
does
crazy.
my brain.
It's truly crazy.
Is usually what's happening. Yeah, it's like you gotta grab the thoughts while you can. And usually I'm waiting. I'm waiting and to let you speak and give your full details. And then by the time it's my turn, here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are.
Mm-hmm. Did you catch that, folks? Did you catch what was said there?
What's that?
Because I caught it.
What?
I caught it.
The long-windedness?
Mm.
Oh, is that not what you were saying?
Did y'all hear it?
What did you catch? Was that it?
No, go ahead.
Oh, it's okay, babe.
Go ahead. Don't let me speak for you.
Babe, we talked about this. I said that you really love to talk, and I love to talk with you. You do.
Mm-hmm.
And I do. Mm-hmm. But, we have an audience now. And
yeah.
But we've been told they love to listen as well.
It's true.
I'm just talking about my brain here, you know. Like I have to wait my turn. And then by the time it's my turn, I have forgot.
Wow.
Is it forgot or forgotten? Which one is it? I've forgotten.
Yo.
Do you not know? Because you didn't answer.
I mean, either is fine. It just depends on the context. So either was fine in that case. Yeah.
So dreams. What is it that you guys dream about, and what did you do to reach them?
Yo, speaking of dreams, is anybody watching The Handmaid's Tale right now?
Oh, wow.
Because you just said that, and I was taken back to June singing that song just endlessly.
Oh, was it about dreams?
Yes, you remember when she was dreaming about Fred?
About Fred?
Yes, Fred and Serena. You just recently.
Oh wow, no.
You don't remember she kept singing that song?
Well, we can't give any spoilers.
Oh no. There's this. What is
the song?
Watch the show.
Because all I can think of is dream, and that's not what she was singing. I don't remember the song.
That's wild.
I feel like I can see her singing it.
Can you?
But I certainly can't hear it.
You could see the moment where you. Spoilers. It's just
no spoilers.
It's too many spoilers to tell you what the context was around it. But we
don't need that. You see what I'm saying? Details, unnecessary details.
Those are necessary details because you don't even know what I'm talking about without the details.
But we just need the song. We just need the lyrics and the tune of the song, because that's the point here. Is we're talking about dreams, not the
not the handsome. Yeah, I saw it.
Lord help me, please.
Yeah, man, I see. Let's talk about
what? Oh man.
Yeah, man.
Sometimes it'd be so helpful just to be able to go back and know like what it was that you said, because if I could just hear that again and then be like, oh yeah, right, that's what I was gonna say. But it's gone. It's gone.
Back to dreams is what you said.
Well, yeah, I know I said that, but still thinking about what it was that I forgot about forever ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So, what is it, babe? As far as your answer, how is dreaming important?
How is dreaming important? That's the question for me.
Is it, or how is it?
What?
Is it important, or how is it important?
Absolutely. For me, absolutely. Because I am someone who is highly ambitious, highly driven, and has a very high work drive and work ethic. That's something that has been instilled in me since I was born. So it's difficult for me to be still. Stillness for me, not in the sense of peace, but in the sense of literal stillness, not moving about, not working towards anything, not making any steps, not making any progress. There's no progression. It's stagnancy for me. It feels like time is being wasted. It feels like nothing is happening. There's deterioration happening. If there's no growth, we're deteriorating. And that's just not something that I personally would be able to handle or accept. That's just something within how I'm wired and the way that I was raised, and what has stuck with me is that I can't really allow myself not to dream. And having a partner with which to dream makes it a lot better. Having a partner that I can move forward with in life that shares the same dreams that I do, that shares a desire to dream, is something that's important for me.
Do you have any idea, going back to, because we had those conversations.
Mm-hmm.
We have that foundation.
For sure.
We have that with each other, and that's
Yeah.
a blessing. And we just said prior that, what is it that can be done if you realize that you're not aligned.
Mm-hmm.
And we said they need to talk about it in the beginning, which I do agree.
Yeah.
But what if you find yourself in that moment? You're already married, been together all these years, and I guess maybe you got off course.
Mm. I feel like if you find yourself in that moment, it you need to decide. Decide, is this dream something you want to be a part of? Is it something that you want to have be your future? Because if it involves you, you need to know whether or not you're on board with it or not. And not just, and you need to know why you're doing it. If you're choosing to go along with the dream, are you simply doing it because you don't have a dream of your own? Or you just want to fully support whatever and you don't have any sort of aspirations? Or is it you're doing it blindly out of love? Or do you truly believe in what the dream is? Because that's a distinction. Because I wouldn't want you to just go along with something because it's what I want.
Right.
It's my dream. I don't want you to just follow my dream if it's not your dream, because then like the feeling is the same.
Right.
It's not, if it's
Mutual.
not a mutually shared dream, it's not something that will bring the same enjoyment out of.
Right.
You're not going to get the same level of gratification with pursuing this dream or these things happening if it's something that you know your partner does not enjoy, if it's something you know they don't support, if it's something that you are already aware is something they don't even understand.
Yeah.
So if you find yourself in this place and you have been unaware of a dream, and now this person that you love the most in the world is sharing a dream that's important to them, you have to, one, take the time to realize how are you not already aware?
Wow.
And two, how do you want to go forward with this? Do you want to learn more about the dream? Do you want to be a part of the dream? Or do you want to develop your own dream in parallel with this dream to where you both can move forward with something that brings you joy in life?
That was good. Bottom line is communication. You might just have to have that hard conversation with, even based off of what you just said, with yourself first.
For sure.
Because that was big. Like,
Yeah.
ask, how did you not know? How were you not aware?
Yeah.
Like, wow. Because you should be
know.
communicating with your spouse.
Exactly.
And you should know what's going on. I mean,
especially something as big as a dream.
Yeah.
If this is something that you desire, like, sure, there are the moments where there are some things that some people choose to keep to themselves, where they might have some sort of embarrassment or shame surrounding this dream, or they've already had trauma within the past to where they were told this dream isn't something that's attainable. It's not something they can achieve. So it would be something that in some cases some people would suppress and wouldn't be so forthcoming with. But
possibly.
if that's not the case and this is something that they've always desired, I feel like it's worth thinking about why they weren't willing to share this with you and why it is that you were unable to bring forth and inspire them to share a dream with you, when there should be no one else in this world that you want to share your dreams with than your partner, your spouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To get back on the same page.
sure.
Mutual thoughts, mutual dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Um, be intentional of how to reach them
Yeah,
and birth them out of love.
for sure. I like that.
Me too.
I like that.
It's good.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
And then I would also say, with dreams on a whole, like, what do you consider to be a dream?
What do I consider to be a
Yeah,
dream?
not in a specific, like, what is your dream, but as an example for people who may be listening or watching right now who aren't sure, like, what is a dream? What could be considered a dream?
Um, just mainly your goals and like your desires, that the things that you've always thought about achieving, having, um, how to, like, if you were, I feel like one of the hardest things is truly knowing your purpose, but a lot of people know their purpose, so that within itself is a dream, is to be
Yeah,
able to fulfill their purpose.
for sure.
And so whatever that is and how that looks, um, it's definitely going to be different, depending on the person.
Yeah.
But and sometimes it's absolutely downloaded, like from like it's a real dream that was given to them. They were able to see it because of dreaming it, and then turn that into reality. And they didn't even know. Oh, I feel like that's a contradiction almost in itself of what we were just saying. Like, how would you not be aware? Like, that would be an example, because
Yeah.
I have heard it happen.
Yeah.
I've heard it happen where the
Mm-hmm.
person themselves wasn't even, I mean, they knew what they desired in life, but it was more so, I guess, the process of how to achieve it. So that is a little different than the dream itself.
Yeah.
So,
I think
still,
that's an
yeah,
important
that makes more
distinction.
sense. Yeah. So everything you said still applies, and in this case, the correction would be that it's not the dream that your spouse wouldn't be aware of. It's just the process of how to obtain it, and that makes sense. That
Yeah.
is often not known.
Yeah, I feel like that is a big thing with dreams. How do dreams actually become a reality? Like, what steps can you actually take for dreams to not simply be a dream? Because I feel like when people say dream, when they talk about dreams, it's always something that seems so grandiose or
Yeah.
unobtainable, something that's just so outrageously far fetched it couldn't possibly come to fruition.
Right.
But
It does feel that way. So a lot of times.
yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
the first step is to write it down.
yeah, write it down for sure. And I feel like that is a very powerful thing, because there is power in words for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because
And
I
you can visually
will
see.
definitely say that I wrote about this woman right here before I met her.
Yeah.
I had no idea I was writing about this woman, but when I met her, I knew, which was something that was so surreal for me that I was shocked, completely flabbergasted when this was the case. So much so that the first night we actually had the opportunity to have this in-depth conversation, get to know one another, I shared this journal entry that I wrote with her.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it was her.
And I think I actually said, well, all that applies to me. Like, that could be me.
Yeah.
I know I definitely thought it. I just can't remember how I worded that back.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, this would have been over text.
It was a moment.
Yeah.
It was a moment for sure. And I feel like that is, it makes things more real when an idea can come from just being inside your head to being something physical and visible and tangible. it becomes more real. It becomes something that seems more possible. And the more you put forth energy into it and you put forth work towards it, it becomes more real with every single step you take. If it's something that you want to
Can't help
I
it.
heard.
Yeah.
I heard
Every
it.
step you take. Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
That's
man.
actually not the one I heard, man.
Oh, what'd you
I
hear?
heard every little step you take.
What's that? Every. Mm-hmm. Well, how's it go?
You were this shit, babe.
I can't get the tune though. But okay.
But you hear it now, though, right?
I feel like yes, but not to help the people. Which it's funny because that did bring back to one thought at the beginning. Like I was imagining like if we, you know, upped our game with like editing these little episodes here and putting in some effects, we would need me being thrown under a bus at the beginning.
Wow.
But then I guess we can have that same bus have you underneath it because I think I got you back with the long-windedness. And then now this all came back because it's like, well, we could just enter the song because I
think we could also start with I would be the main one under the bus to begin with.
Oh,
when you threw it over to me with no build up of any sort, just threw the topic at me and said, "What's your thoughts?"
Yeah, that's what you told me to do. That's the thing. That's how I got under the bus. Because that's what he told me to do before we started.
That's wild, man.
That's what he told me to do.
That's wild.
But,
full circle moment.
Yeah, that's full circle. And a great way to end the circle there.
That's wild.
I love you.
I love you.
Yeah, I know. So, y'all, this is us. That's a good show.
God, I love it.
Great show. If you, I don't know how you haven't seen it. If you haven't already, but if you haven't, it's everywhere. I feel like Hulu, Netflix. Yeah. You should watch it
for sure.
It's probably at the library by now.
The library is wild.
I love the library, and that is wild to think that you could just watch This Is Us from the library, but you probably can.
That is really insane.
I know because it's no longer on TV, so it would make sense that it's at the library.
Yeah. Man, I feel like I miss those days, man, where they used to release the whole box set of a show on DVD. I feel like you don't see that much anymore. Everything, you can just watch it all. It's already there. If you pay for a streaming service,
right,
you just watch it. But it's nothing like having those box set collections where you have every single DVD with every episode. Then you have the behind the scenes and all the little special features. It's like those days are gone, man. They don't do it like that.
I mean, sometimes I appreciate having it digital, and sometimes there is the little extras at the end, but not
sometimes, but nothing like what it was, man.
But you didn't always get that with the DVD set either.
But a lot of times you did,
yeah,
and when
that's true.
you did, it was amazing. I used to love to watch, all the behind the scenes, the making of the movie, hear from the directors and the other cast and crew, where you're not just talking to the actors. You get to actually hear from some of the other crew members and what went into actually making these scenes that we're watching. The people that are arranging the set directors, the set designers, even the costume design. Every little thing that goes into making these beautiful experiences, because that's the thing with me. I've always loved the details. The details is where the beauty lies for me. I love the details.
Yeah, full circle again.
Yeah, man, full circle. Details are very important.
I do agree.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So y'all, that's it for this episode. And we're going to catch you during the next one. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, indeed. And as always, stay well and prosper, everybody.
Thank y'all for making it to the end.
And as always, much appreciation for your support.
If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and comment.
Across all platforms.
Dream big.
And may you always be willing to put in the work necessary to make your dreams a reality. And as always, stay well and prosper, everybody.